Hello, my fellow YouTubers. Yeah, let me rearrange Ted there for a sec. My fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Random Thoughts from me, Ted Bear. Now, I think we've established that there are certain classic arguments that I really don't get behind, things I don't enjoy. But some things change, and they're not always for the best. There's an argument that is becoming popular, and it is keep your expectations low and you'll never be let down. Now, as far as the arguments I've talked about here on Random Thoughts, it sounds good in theory. But there is a huge flaw in the logic. Let me explain. Now, about a month ago, I heard a very disturbing version of this saying as I was venting some frustrations at the Dallas VA. I recently found out that after almost 2 years of waiting for the VA regional office in Waco to hear my appeal, as I'm struggling to make ends meet and wondering when this is going to end, I hear that they are only up to 2010 when it comes to appeals. This did not sit well with me. I wanted to jump up on here on my little soapbox and let people know how much I did not enjoy hearing about that and how things need to change. But that would not have been helpful. And that is part of what I do. Now, how were these words met when I was done venting? What sweet words of comfort came to me? It's the VA. What do you expect? Yeah. Clearly expecting me to keep my expectations low to avoid disappointment. Now, before I get too far gone, I have to now, given the emotional and physical consequences that arise when frustrations, emotional spikes, and sadistic jumps in my blood pressure hit me and just I see the need for control. But the point where that particular brand of logic falls apart for me is another famous argument that says people will rise to their lowest level of expectation. Now, how can we expect, and not just in the appeals process, how can we expect things to be, please, God, how do we expect things to get better if we keep lowering the bar of expectations? Now, I know that the regional office at VA, VA in general, has got a lot on its plate. And there's nothing wrong with taking into account workload and the human factor. Although, personally, I believe both sides could use a dose of human factor, but that's a rant for another day. But there comes a point where something has to give and things need to change. Now, as I'm writing this, I'm dealing with some frustrations and trying to find the perfect way to illustrate my point about low expectations. I can't believe this is what I came up with, but here it comes. Your expectations are like the waistband of your pants. Keep them where you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable with them up around your neck, cool. If you feel comfortable with them, let me stay on track here. But the point is, keep them where you feel comfortable. And don't trust anybody who tells you you need to lower those expectations. Because you may lower your chance for disappointment, but you could also be opening yourself up for a sandpaper suppository. I mean a nasty surprise. I mean both. This has been Random Thoughts from me, O. Ted Bear. And as always, I just hope I helped.